The issue of terrorism and insurgency again dominated a gathering organized by the Alumni Association of the National Defense College. The guest lecturer and a former commandant of the Nigerian Army School of Infantry calls for total war against terrorism.
Nigeria's weak foreign policy posture in the face of international terrorism is believed to be partly responsible for the lack of tangible multilateral approach in the fight against terrorism in the country. The lack of decisive action to protect our land borders in the advent of the Arab Spring, the Libyan crisis, and the presence of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, Akim, and El-Shabaab have given the needed impetus to Boko Haram. If the present approach is not changed, and if we do not employ all the instruments of national power to defeat terrorism, grave and troubled times await us in the near future.
A former Chief of Naval Staff and chairman of the occasion advised the federal government to approach the fight against terrorism holistically.
The security challenges that our country is faced with is enormous. Consequently, there's need to review our national internal security doctrine from coercive approach to the more progressive approach of laying emphasis on the improvement of the socio-economic conditions of the Nigerian citizen. And also desirable, even essential, is that civil authorities and security forces respond swiftly to internal security crises.
For the Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Defense, Nigerian youth seeking education from nations with extreme religious bent should be discouraged from studying in such countries.
Part of the problem is that we have exposed our youth to nations that are extreme in their behavior, that we should begin to think about not sending our children to some of those nations with extreme religious bent. In the last decade or so, we have seen more and more children going to school in those areas, and they have always come back with extreme beliefs and all that.
The one-day seminar, which is the fifth in the series organized by the Alumni Association, will, among other issues, examine the involvement of retired security personnel in the fight against terrorism and the role of communities in national security.